RASA means grace, though.
The thing is, it really seems to work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it just, but explain exactly what it is.
Let's say it's a
Ramaji
spiritual
can't
transmission
even
of energy.
explain 100% what
Yeah,
it is.
It's a spiritual transmission of energy that wakes
There
up
we
people.
go.
He
Yeah.
says that it opens up the crown chakra,
Mm-hmm.
and energy comes through and open. If your crown chakra is all the way open, then you're enlightened.
Yeah. So anyway, so I got the RASA, and I was already feeling really at peace after the RASA, but then Ramaji started talking more, answering questions. I wasn't really asking too many questions, but just listening to what he was saying, it just really clicked in my head, and it really made sense, and I already realized the fact that I'm not the doer and that I don't have control.
After one rasa, you shut up.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, it was amazing because I did hear you talk, and Alex heard you talk, and everyone in the room, and it's like we could see the light bulb go off in your head. And you're like, I'm not the doer. Like, oh my God, I can't believe.
Yeah.
I thought that I was the doer, making all these decisions in my life. And
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
It was so fast for you.
So fast, and then I walked out of that place of Ramaji's house that day, and everything had already changed, like a lot. I was just like, wow, like I just felt so calm, so at peace.
You could sleep again.
I could sleep again. I just wasn't stressed anymore. It's just accepting the fact that whatever's happening is happening, and it's perfect, and everything is perfect, and just acceptance of everything. And then once I realized that, and I went to another meeting and got more RASA, and it was pretty easy. It was a very easy process.
Ramaji is capable of remarkable personal interaction, very intimate, playful, catalytic. I find it easy to trust him, to play with him, and yet to go my own way. I sit in a chair for a RASA session, unless I'm sitting in a group, and just let go, sometimes with eyes closed. And I feel immediately a presence descending into me, an energy, and a brightening of inner light.
Hi, I'm Christian, and I want to talk about the RASA session with Ramaji. So I come across with him in the internet, and he offered something like RASA and something about crown chakra opening or whatever. So I was thinking, oh my God, this is the next bullshit. But in a way, I don't know why, but I tried it. So I connected him, and I had my first session in Skype with him, and it was really, really amazing. I mean, you really can feel the energy that he is transmitting, and in a way it's a feeling like it was completely silent, it was completely, the space was opening, and it was really amazing.
Hi, my name is Jules, and I'm living on the Canary Islands. Actually, the very first information I got from Ramaji, or what I heard about Ramaji, I was really very skeptical. I've been through many years seeing a lot of people, doing a lot of sessions, courses, satsangs, transmissions, met teachers and masters, and so I'm really not so easy to impress. But when I saw the change and the impact that only 2 sessions had on my friend Christian, who told me about Ramaji, I was really impressed, because his attitude changed, his day-to-day life changed. His energetic field changed quite dramatically. And when he told me then that including Ramaji was kind of very casual, like almost like a friend, no master role, no teacher even, then I thought, okay, that's really interesting, because that's kind of an integrity I really appreciate. It's something, a gift that Ramaji obviously seems to have, and that he's sharing, but on a equal level exchange. So then I had my first session. I was talking a bit with Ramaji via Skype, talking about this and that. Actually, I did not have any big questions philosophically or so. And then, because I was really curious about that, the RASA part of it. And well, then I got really surprised, because after maybe 45 minutes or so of talking, Ramaji said, well, okay, so let's start, lay back a bit or sit straight or whatever. And within a second after starting, the energy level within myself rose in a dramatic way. I mean, it was kind of like button switch on, and there it was. It was, I think it's hard to say actually what happens. There's, or for any individual or even in any session, because I had 2 sessions and each of them was completely different, but it was starting with a snap and was a dramatical increase of energy. The first session, to describe, I was doing Vipassana for many years, Vipassana meditation, and it took me many weeks and months to get to states which I accessed within 1 second with Ramaji's help, or with his presence. I got so deep into that meditation that I was really in that in a very soft kind of bliss, let's say, where you can watch come and go your thoughts, your feelings. I attached with them, then I detached from them again within a second or two, and from that arose this this happiness without reason. Just seeing that happening, it made me really really happy deep inside. I think this is called Satchitananda, the bliss or the happiness without cause. And it was also not a dramatical thing, like, oh wow, a big flash or a light or so, but it was something that was obviously me, nothing superimposed or wiped away by a bliss wave. It was me. I felt this watching presence, this neutral presence was all of a sudden available, and it was simply beautiful, natural, beautiful, soft, embracing me.
Hi, I'm Vandana from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ramaji has been my spiritual teacher or guru since July 2014. I've received at least 11 RASA transmissions from him, including one of them on a plane, which was an incredibly fantastic experience. I've received RASAs from Ramaji in group sessions, through live Skype sessions, and also by meditation appointment. If you remain completely open and completely receptive, RASA will be one of the most incredible experiences you can ever have. No 2 RASA experiences have been the same, actually, for me. But every time I have felt it strongly permeating from above. The energy feels like it's divine, because when the transmission starts, you feel a showering of the energy from above onto the top of your head. It feels like it's glittering, sparkling, prickling, tingling, and it enters your body and pierces and penetrates through every cell.
Now, the RASA is this most awesome experience whereby, having received it, I just literally felt energy streaming into me of such a high vibration, very similar in fact to the energy of nature, which is what I use when I am working with my clients and with myself to help people shift emotional pain, limiting beliefs and trauma. And what was interesting for me is I was actually working on deep-rooted behavioural patterns that were created from childhood abuse and sexual trauma that I hadn't been able to fully shift, and I was able to witness them playing out within my life, in effect blocking me from being able to be present and spontaneous in the moment. And over the 2 months that I experienced the RASA from Ramaji and had his support, I was actually able to step beyond these barriers, step beyond the behavioural patterns, and actually finally let go of this emotional trauma that had been in my life for 25 to 30 years.
The RASA also seems to very clearly benefit people who you care about, people who are in your family, an extended family or friends. I noticed after getting the RASA, I would almost immediately find several people show up out of the woodwork and visit or contact me. And I felt that the grace was flowing to them as well. So it was really a wonderful experience.
Hi, this is Hirok, and I'm from Bangladesh. When I first received my very first RASA from Ramaji, I didn't know exactly what to expect actually. Sure, I read the description on the web page, but I was not sure about the whole thing. But anyway, I gave Ramaji a benefit of doubt and decided to give it a shot. In the end, actually, I'm glad that I did. Before I got my very first RASA, I was like this. I was a very unhappy person. I was unhappy with myself. I was unhappy with my parents. I was unhappy with this world. I was unhappy with everything. There is a sense that this body, this apparent physical body, this solid physical body is what I am. In other words, I believe that this body is me. This body is my only identity. There is another thing. I was addicted with my own thoughts. Either I was thinking about my past or thinking about my future. Uh, I was never actually in this present moment. I literally believed that I was my own thought, or the thoughts are like part of me. In summary, before I started having RASA, I started getting my RASA. I was a very sad, mad, and unhappy person. When I get my very first RASA, the effects are really spectacular. The effects are very hard to describe, but I will try my best. Imagine one person who is very much used to work in a very crowded environment, very crowded and noisy environment. One day, for some reason, he decided to go to work in a library, a silent library. So, if a person goes from a crowded and noisy environment to a silent library, he will definitely feel the silence, right? This is unmistakable. In the same way, when I got my very first RASA, I was experiencing this kind of silence. It's like the voices in my head and all the noises of all the thoughts in my head are totally gone, and it felt really, really peaceful. It felt really, really peaceful, and at the same time, it felt really, really blissful. It's like that I can feel the silence. And it feels like I am the silence. That I am the embodiment of silence. There is saying that be still and know I am God. Um, I think I'm starting to get what this phrase means finally.
Hi, I'm Tauren Carlson, and I'm from San Diego, California. And I'm sitting here in my parked car doing a quick video. I wanted to share my experience of what RASA was like from Ramaji. And so I received RASA for the first time in June of 2014. And what I remember of the experience was that, I felt a very soft, subtle energy descending from the top of my head, kind of coming down. And what I remember, the effects of RASA afterward, I didn't really feel as much during the actual RASA transmission as immediately after. I actually felt like there was this spaciousness in front of my head and above my head. I guess it could be attributed to, maybe you could just say it was the third eye. The third eye felt like there was a spaciousness in front of it, and then above my crown felt like there was a spaciousness above it. And I also remember that my thoughts seemed like they were significantly reduced. There was less mental noise happening. It seemed like there was like a deeper sense of deep clarity. I liken it to, if you can imagine thoughts are like cobwebs. If you imagine like an open space and there's some cobwebs there, RASA was kind of like taking a broom to those cobwebs and sweeping up some of those cobwebs. Now, it wasn't as if all thoughts were eliminated. With my experience, it seemed like there was just significantly less thoughts going on. And when there were thoughts, it wasn't like there was this parade of all these other thoughts going on. It was just like very clear one thought happening. And that was my experience with RASA. And I feel like it really did help me on my path. And I felt like I made some definite progress with RASA. And so that's my story about what happened with RASA with me.
I emailed him. It was easy to talk to, and we decided to have our first RASA, which I did, and I was quite amazed. Within the first 5 minutes, I felt deep peace and even bliss. And it stayed like that for quite a few days. Complete rest.
Hi, I'm Sabrina from Paris, and I'm here today to talk about Ramaji and RASA. I've received RASA several times via Skype, and I have to say there is a before RASA and an after RASA. A strong desire was there to go beyond the belief in thoughts and this sensation of being contracted in the body. RASA opens the door. RASA is like the light in the dark. Nothing has changed, yet something has changed. There is more clarity and openness here, even when things seem more complicated. RASA has nothing to do with intellectual understanding. RASA doesn't add spiritual concepts, non-dual concepts. No, it's the opposite. It leaves you naked. It brings you back to your own direct experience, to your heart. RASA, Ramaji, show me the way to freedom. Thank you.
I've had about 8 RASAs, and each time it's been an amazing experience. I always loved the energy coming down from above. I loved it permeating every cell of my body, every pore. My top of my head was every time it came down, the energy came down, the top of my head always expanded incredibly far out and wide. It felt like I was always being pulled up into this ocean of silence above. I was always in a trance for like 4 or 5 days afterwards. It's an amazing transmission. It's actually one of the most powerful transmissions today because it actually raises your consciousness to an enlightened consciousness. Not many transmissions do that.
What is RASA and what does it do? RASA is a spiritual transmission of energy that Ramaji offers. And it's like this. He does this stuff. And then this whole heavy head feeling gets softened. And all the thoughts go away. And your body opens up. And there's no more struggle in trying to keep yourself under control. And it opens up. And you get bigger. Sense of self gets larger and larger and larger. It just goes crazy big. And at some point, there's no end to it. There's no more thoughts. And you're completely free of everything. It is powerful. It is awesome. You're going to love it.